Hello there. Thanks for watching my views and news. I want to analyze in this video the rumors or the reports which are being shared as if a new war between Ethiopia and Eritrea is imminent. Who is spreading these rumors? Any truth in these rumors? What is happening in Ethiopia? What is happening in Eritrea? Any new war over port issue likely? What are the options available for Ethiopia in terms of gaining access to ports? What is Eritrea thinking about internal situation in Ethiopia? Firstly, two YouTube channels with following tens of thousands of people watch them on daily basis. They are spreading these rumors and they are citing their exclusive sources. We saw a report from Ethio 360. The 360 journalists claim that at a meeting between the Prime Minister of Ethiopia and Prosperity Party leaders, PM Abiy announced to annex Eritrea. Then Ethio Forum published a report, I think 2 days ago. Ethio 360 claimed that Birhanu Jula, Ethiopian military chief, at a meeting said that meeting with officers, END officers said that Ethiopian military should make preparations. A new war is coming against Eritrea. Now, what are the sources? What is the evidence? No evidence, just their own exclusive sources. Who is backing Ethio 360 and Ethio Forum? Ethio 360 is pro-Fano, pro-Amhara hardliners. Fano fighters groups in the Amhara region, they want support from Eritrea. A war between Eritrea and Ethiopian federal government suits Fano fighters because military's attention will be diverted. A military cannot continue the operation in Amhara if Eritrea-Ethiopia war starts. So ideally, a war between Ethiopia and Eritrea suits groups in the Amhara region. Ethio Forum backed by pro-Tigray elements. Tigray wants to take revenge. Whenever it is possible, Tigray would have to take revenge because it was Eritrean military which struck a decisive blow to Tigray. The 2-year-long war, had Eritrea not been part of the war, maybe Tigray fighters would have reached Addis Ababa. But difference between Tigray fighters and Ethiopian military was EDF. So Tigray would like to take revenge. A new war between Ethiopia and Eritrea wouldn't hurt Tigray, though Tigray would be involved too, but Tigray leadership has been trying to pit Abiy against Isaias. So while we're analyzing the reports of these two news outlets, we must be clear who is backing these two news outlets. People criticized Ethio Forum. I don't criticize them. I don't know, I am not naming anyone. I am criticizing the content because people contact me, they say, Sajid, this narrative is being spread, which could lead to instability. Why don't you give us your views? So I am sharing with you my views. On the ground situation, what is Eritrea thinking about Ethiopia? What are Ethiopian options in terms of getting access to ports? Port is an important issue for Ethiopia. Ethiopia has several options when it comes to gaining access to ports. First option is negotiations. Negotiations ongoing with Djibouti, Somaliland, Kenya. Not sure about negotiation with Eritrea. Second option, territory swap. That Ethiopia gives its territory to the country whose port it wants to use, and that country gives access to Ethiopia. Not very likely option, because any territory which Ethiopia would give to the other country, the resident territory, they would oppose this arrangement. Third option, war. That Ethiopia attacks a neighboring country to take control of port. Fourth option, that there is a regime change in a neighboring country and pro-Ethiopia government takes power, and that gives port to Ethiopia. Now, these four options. Negotiations underway, not with Eritrea though. Why? Because Eritrea is watching the developments in Ethiopia very closely. According to Eritrean president, the situation in Ethiopia is volatile. He thinks that at this point of time, Eritrea should not form any long-term strategic partnership with Ethiopia. Your Ethiopian future is a little uncertain. Who will be in power in 2027 in Ethiopia? No one knows. Fano fighters threaten to Addis Ababa. Ola too. Will PP continue or will it be dismantled? No one clearly knows. Isaias does not want to form any long-term strategic partnership with Ethiopia at this point of time. Negotiations with Eritrea not underway so far. First option. Second option, territory swap not likely. If Ethiopia gives territory from Oromia to Kenya, from Afar to Eritrea, or from Afar to Djibouti, obviously people of these territories, areas would oppose the arrangement. Not very likely. Third option, that a pro-Ethiopia regime takes power in a neighboring country. In Somaliland, not likely. In Kenya, not likely. Democratic country, Kenya, more democratic than their neighbors. Djibouti, under the influence of several countries. Only option, Eritrea. Even in Eritrea, if Isaias goes, no one knows who will be the new ruler. Will he be pro-Ethiopia? No one knows. So no one can guarantee that Isaias' removal would lead to installation of a pro-Ethiopia regime in Eritrea. So this option, again, not very likely. Fourth option is war. How can Ethiopia take control of a port by force in Eritrea, Somaliland, Kenya, or Djibouti? It would be a violation of international law. Ethiopia cannot annex Eritrea. No one is going to accept this type of aggression. So Ethiopia is in a difficult position. But we cannot say Ethiopia is planning to attack Eritrea, Ethiopia wants to annex Eritrea, Ethiopia wants to bring a pro-Ethiopia regime in Eritrea. Ethiopia is in a difficult position. It is using the tactic of putting pressure upon neighboring countries, but it wants to resolve the issue through talks. My understanding, Ethiopia would go for the option of negotiations already happening. Ethiopia wants Eritrea to be at the table, to Eritrea resisting it. Now, Isaias Afwerki is in full control in his country. Military under his control. The party, one party under his control. No threat from any neighboring country. He's the main player in the Horn of Africa now. In Sudan, Burhan relying on Isaias Afwerki's support. Yemen devastated. Somalia under Al-Shabaab large territories. Djibouti, small country under Western influence. Ethiopia, lots of internal problems. Isaias Afwerki is not in danger. I don't think any regime change operation can be conducted in Eritrea. So this is the overall situation. Does Isaias want a new war with Ethiopia? Why would he want a new war? He would like to recover. His country would like to recover from the wounds of Tigray conflict. He is focused on economy. He visited China, Russia. He's proposing a new world order. Why? Because he wants Eritrea to be a beneficiary of this new world order. He wants to build Massawa, economic project. He wants to have support from China, Russia, from Arab countries too. He is not planning a new war. What about Ethiopia? Can Ethiopia afford to start a new war? It would be ridiculous to assume that, because Ethiopia knows very well that groups in Amhara are pro-Eritrea. So if Ethiopia starts a war with Eritrea, the groups in Amhara region, they would be in a position to reach Addis Ababa easily, because military would be diverted towards borders. Anyone with a sane mind can easily conclude that in case of Ethiopia-Eritrea war, it would be easy for groups in Amhara to reach Addis Ababa. Why would Ethiopia divert its military deployment from Amhara to the war against Eritrea? Does it make sense? It does not make sense. Militarily, and if you analyze the situation neutrally, it does not make sense. What some news outlets and some groups in Ethiopia are doing, they're beating the drums of war. Why? Because they have backing of certain players in Ethiopia. These players have not learned from Tigray conflict. Groups in Amhara, they are vowing to fight on. Groups in Tigray, they are waiting for the right time to take revenge on Eritrea. PM Abiy's government, I don't think, is foolish to start a war with Eritrea. So that is my understanding. Now, any mobilization on the border of Ethiopian National Defense Force pointing towards a war against Eritrea, because whenever there is a war, obviously preparations start. Are you seeing any preparations? Anyone reported? These people, Ethio 360, Ethio Forum, do they have any verified information about deployment of military, movement of military towards Eritrean border? No. And such movement cannot be hidden. Through satellite images, we can confirm large-scale mobilization of military. No one is reporting. No one has evidence about large-scale military mobilization towards Eritrean border, but they are claiming that war is coming. No war is coming. Eritrea does not want any new war. Eritrea is silent. No statement from Eritrean government, from Eritrean activists, pro-government. They are not in favor of a new war against Ethiopia. Ethiopian government, yes, in a difficult position because of port issue, economic issues too, conflict in Amhara, Tigray needs reconstruction, Ola threat too. It is not interested in waging war in Eritrea. Those who are sharing these false reports, they have backing of some players who want a war between Ethiopia and Eritrea. On the ground, nothing is happening. Tensions are there. I've been saying Ethiopia-Eritrea relations are not very friendly. They're not on good terms. Why? Because they don't have any common strategic agenda to agree on. Main obstacle is that Isaias Afwerki does not want to form a long-term partnership with Ethiopia because of Ethiopian internal conflicts. If there's stability in Ethiopia, maybe Isaias Abiy will have, they will agree on some long-term partnership. So that is what I have learned and I have verified through talking to some sources and through building this analysis. So please don't believe whatever is being said. Question those who are spreading these rumors. These two countries cannot afford any new war, especially Ethiopia cannot afford any new war. See what is happening in Tigray. Tigray, mothers, sisters, daughters are crying. Tens of thousands have been killed, women raped. So those who are once again beating the drums of war, they should learn lessons from Tigray conflict. Thanks for watching.